Chris. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to Popcorn Finance, the show where we have been discussing finance and about the time it takes to make a bag of popcorn for 3 years. This past Sunday, June 28th, marked 3 years since I officially started Popcorn Finance. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for joining me, whether it's been since the beginning, where I was just using my iPhone to record in the front seat of my car, or this is the very first episode you've ever listened to. Whenever I hit these milestones, I like to share a little bit about how I started the show. So I'm very sorry if you've already heard this story before. I'll keep it short. I won't go on too long about this. The story of Popcorn Finance starts back when I was just entering into college. I went in as an art major because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew I needed to go to college, and I'd been doing art in high school. So I was like, hey, why not be an art major? But I quickly found out that that really wasn't for me. I wasn't that passionate about it. And just by chance, I was taking a finance class as a general elective class because it just fulfilled one of those categories on the list that the counselors gave me. And I really enjoyed that class. They were talking about things I had never heard before. I had no background in finance whatsoever. I didn't know anything about investing. All this stuff was new. So I went to the office and I said, you know what, I'd like to change my major to finance. And it all kind of started from there. And a few semesters in, I selected financial planning as my emphasis for my finance degree. I graduated college in 2009, right in the middle of the recession. Couldn't really find any work. The only jobs I was being offered were really heavy in sales, and that's not the route that I wanted to go at all. And after over a year of searching, I found a job in accounting, managing a payroll department. And it was just as exciting as it sounds. I ended up working in accounting and payroll for 7 years. And the whole time, I just kept thinking how I really had wanted to teach personal finance. And I didn't know how to ever get back to that because it was, this was paying the bills. This is how I was making a living and buying food and being able to have a place to live. But all throughout college and that 7 years of working, I always had a pretty decent commute. It was always pretty long. Out here in Southern California, you're driving all the time. And so I listened to a ton of podcasts, hours and hours of podcasts every week. And so the idea came to me, why not start a podcast teaching personal finance? It was like, this should be pretty easy. I can hop in, grab a microphone. Shouldn't take that long. I had helped a friend produce a podcast back when we were in college. It was about video games. No one ever listened to it, but it was fun for us. And so I was like, maybe this should be something I should give a try on my own. And so over several weeks, I came up with the ideas and the concepts that really are what Popcorn Finance is today. I came up with a name. I went and reserved it on Twitter. I did all these things, and then I just sat on it. I believe I sat on this idea for about 3 years, from the day that I actually thought of it to when I finally recorded the first episode. It was about 3 years, and it was just because I was nervous. I didn't know if anyone would listen to it. I didn't know if I would be good at it. I didn't know if I should even be doing it. But my wife and my friends, they all encouraged me. They're like, hey, this is a good idea. You should just give it a try. What do you have to lose? And so one day I was at work, doing payroll, doing accounting stuff, having a great time. And I was on this site called TheVerge.com. It's like a tech blog, essentially a tech website. And on there, they mentioned an app called Anchor, where you could record a podcast directly from your phone. You didn't need any equipment. You don't need a microphone or a computer. You just do it all from your phone. And so I went and downloaded the app, and I was like, well, let me give it a try. And so if you didn't know, Anchor recently was purchased by Spotify. They became pretty decent size when it came to the whole podcasting space. But when I first got in, it was completely different. It was kind of like, think of Instagram stories, but just with audio. So that meant that you would record something and it would last for 24 hours and then it would just completely disappear. And people could record voice responses back to you. You could talk back to them. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty interesting concept. Because you couldn't actually save anything, it all just disappeared. There's about a month worth of content, I guess you can call it, that I did that is not saved anywhere. It does not exist. It just was kind of, practice, I guess you would call it. And I'm really happy it doesn't exist because I'm sure it was the worst thing I ever put out. So what happened was, after, I don't even know how long it was, maybe a month or two of doing this, they updated their service to allow you to not only save what you're recording and package it into an episode, but you can actually push it out and publish it to Apple Podcasts. So if you listen to the very first episode, it has a much different format and style and kind of different music between segments because it was like a result of how the app worked. That's how you built episodes in these short segments, and you put little audio bumpers in between. And so during my lunch breaks, after work, I would sit in my car and I would record these segments I was building. I'd have a little journal and I would write out ideas and themes, and I would record these episodes directly to my iPhone, no special microphone, nothing like that. And I would stitch them all together and I would build an episode. Over time, I eventually moved to a different platform, somewhere around, I think, episode 25. You probably notice a difference in audio quality because I got an actual microphone. It wasn't the one I'm using now, but it was better than just talking directly into my phone. The show just kind of built from there. It was just gradually, week after week, putting out episodes, learning more about the process, getting more comfortable, having guests on, and just really learning and growing over time. The show just continued on. And here we are today, 3 years later, where I never even thought about what 3 years later would look like. But I feel very fortunate to have made it this far and to have people like you listening to the show and supporting me in what I do and enjoying the work that I'm putting together. So really, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for all of you listening, because if none of you listened, I probably would not still be doing this. So thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. And just coincidentally, this is episode 194. So that means episode 200 is right around the corner, and I want to do something special. And so what I'm asking is, for those of you listening, I want you to call me at 707-200-8259. Again, that's 707-200-8259. Or you can leave me a voicemail from your phone directly or on your computer by going to popcornfinance.com/voicemail. And don't worry, all of this is in the show notes just in case you don't have a pen or anything to write this down right now. And what I want you to do is I want you to share some things with me about Popcorn Finance. Since we're celebrating 3 years, 200 episodes, I want you to call in and leave me your response to one or all of these little prompts right here. So I would love to know, what has been your favorite episode? Who has been your favorite guest? And then something you've learned that's been helpful along this way. So, from any of the episodes, if there's something you picked up that you're like, oh, I didn't know that, or this was pretty helpful, I would love to hear it. And then I'm going to take all of your answers and put them together into a very special episode 200. Also, for bonus extra credit, if you want some extra popcorn points, I don't even know what those are, but if you want some extra credit, say the intro to the show. Every episode I open it up pretty much the same way. I go, hey, this is Chris. Welcome to Popcorn Finance. This is a show where we discuss finance. All that stuff that I say at the beginning of the episode. Also, throw that into your voicemail if you want, because I want to do something special with that as well. So if you feel like it, if you remember it, you can go back and listen to the beginning of the show and see what I say, and then also record that as part of your message. And then I can put that into a special project I'm working on. So that's all I wanted to share with you this week. There's been a lot going on. There's a lot happening in the world right now. And I just want to express my gratitude and my appreciation for all of you coming back each week and listening to the show and supporting me through listening, through sending me messages. It's all been great and really appreciated. So thank you all so much. And I'm looking forward to hearing your responses to some of those questions I threw out there. So again, what I'm looking for is for you to share with me your favorite episode, your favorite guests, or something you've learned that's been helpful throughout any of these, 100+ episodes that I put out so far. So as always, I appreciate you all joining me here for another bag of popcorn and for another year. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week. Looking forward to hearing your voicemails. And don't forget to register to vote.
Your boy keep it poppin' like Mary Poppins.